Hello and welcome back to the channel. We are once again doing an unboxing for one of the Star Wars Shatterpoint Squad Pack expansions. So big thank you to Atomic Mass Games for supplying this and sponsoring our upcoming brush off, where Dave and myself will be painting some of these squad packs against the professional painter and hopefully winning a gold star. I say hopefully. There's normally the gold stars go to the professionals, as would be expected, but we give it our best shot. Dave and I are intermediate and starter painters at best, and I've certainly never done any batch painting. So painting one of these squads on screen with a 2 hour time limit is going to be difficult. So I will have to give myself as many advantages as possible. But anyway, this is not the painting video. That will come later on in January. This is me opening the squad boxes and seeing what's inside. So this one, what have we here? You can see from the art, it's Lando Calrissian, and of course, this is Lando Calrissian from the era of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, so the second movie in the original trilogy, when he is the administrator of Bespin. So this is obviously an iconic part of the original trilogy where he effectively turns traitor on Han Solo and Leia at the time and turns them over to Darth Vader. So it's an iconic section of that particular movie and my favourite movie from my childhood of the original series. The detail in this pack, the artwork on the front is awesome. I particularly like the fact that they are painted miniatures in the photographs provided on the front, as well as the great comic book art that we have here. So I will attempt to get this into focus so you can see the level of detail that the artists have gone to when painting these miniatures. So you can see that there we actually have the pattern on the inside of Lando's cloak there. Which is, commendable. I don't think I will ever be able to paint that well, where I can get to that level of detail. I will give it a try, but I wouldn't hold out too much for the outcome. So that is one of my favourite things about the boxes, is the paint examples that you get supplied. They're not 3D renders, they are paint examples. And you also get that on the back as well as a little bit of lore about this particular iconic squad. Because that is what Star Wars Shatterpoint is all about. It's about you recreating or creating from scratch famous battles or legendary battles between the iconic heroes set, or the iconic heroes and iconic villains, I should say, set in the Star Wars universe. So I will open this box now and we'll get to it. Now, these are self-assembly and self-paint. These are not painted, so the artwork on the front is an example, just to clarify that point. So you are going to need a good set of sprue clippers. Excuse the noise. Good set of sprue clippers, a good craft knife, and some super glue. So these boxes are well protected. You'll see that there is a cardboard insert there to prevent the box from being squashed and protect your miniature sprue. Inside there are the sprues containing the miniatures and some cards. Now, as I said in the earlier videos, there are no instructions in the boxes. You'll need to download the assembly instructions. Excuse me. You need to download the assembly instructions from Atomic Mass Games using this QR code. Now, me personally, I prefer that. Having paper copies in the box sometimes can be difficult because they're not going to be huge. They've got to size it, obviously, packaging correctly for the sprues. So you're not going to get very large printout in terms of an assembly instructions. And if it is quite complicated, then those pictures can be small. So I do like the electronic instructions. I can open up on the computer and I can make them bigger if I need to be able to see them clearer. So I like that. It's not everybody's preference, but I like the fact they're not in the box. Now, cards. The cards are supplied in multiple languages. So you'll see there are quite a few cards in here. They're not all in English, so you won't need the others unless you're playing in German, French, Spanish, some of the other languages that are supplied. So you do get extra cards than you actually need. But again, that is fine because the artwork on the back here is beautiful. Comic book art is great. So, having the additional sets, you could put those out on the table for display purposes for your opponent on a little card holder, and then you can play, obviously, with the reverse side, the English instructions. The card stock is good. It is a glossy finish. It's not going to bend easily. If it does bend, it's going to return to its original shape. It's good quality material, and as I say, it's good artwork. Now, I haven't played Shatterpoint, and you will need the core set if you do wish to play. This is only an expansion set, providing you with the primary, the secondary, and the support characters for that particular strike team. Now, when you're assembling your squad, your primary character, who will be one of the iconics, will have a squad point score in the top left-hand corner. This squad point score allows you then to build your squad. And you'll see from the 2 cards supplied in the box that their point cards add up to 8. So you cannot exceed the squad point rating for that particular hero. You also need to match the eras. So there are 2 eras. There are the Clone Wars era and the Galactic Civil War era. So for Lando, being from the original trilogy or Episode 5, you'll need to use the Galactic Civil War squads. So the box I opened earlier was the this is the Way box. That's the Mandalorians, the covert Mandalorians from Mandalorian Season 1. I could, if I wished, want to use Lando as my hero, changing out the armor, and now I could use Paz Vizsla and the covert Mandalorians to make up my squad, if I wanted to, and as long as those cards did not exceed 8 squad points. The cards are reversible, as I said, so each of these characters have some abilities. Fully detailed. I'm not going to read them out, but they are fully detailed on the back, explaining what they do. I'm not clear on exactly what each of these symbols means. I know there are some moves, there's some special abilities, there's some required force points, which is also shown on the front of the cards. And there are these tags as well. So these tags, when you apply some of these special abilities, will come into play, because unless your squad has the same tags, my understanding is that the full effects of some of these abilities wouldn't apply to your squad mate. So it throws in an optimization sort of aspect to the game, which I quite like the sound of. I'm looking forward to playing this, where you really need to think about how the synergies between your squad and your squad leader works in your favor in order to give you a good team matchup. Of course, you can throw that completely out the window and rely on luck if you wish, and then run with the dream team if that's what you want to do. Either way works. These are the smaller cards. I believe these are the Shatterpoint cards. Some beautiful art there. So they have got that on the reverse. Got some beautiful art provided in the box. And then we have some stance cards and some order cards. And again, these are dual language, or multiple language, I say, not dual, and reversible. So there's a lot of things in the box. Same card material as the larger ones, so very sturdy. I'm not concerned about those getting damaged. I don't think I'd put those in cards if they do card sleeve big enough for those, because I don't think they would get damaged too much, or if at all. So if we now look at the sprue, this sprue is smaller than the other ones I've seen. So it suggests these parts are not as complicated, probably got not as many small pieces, not as many moving parts, should we say. It's you can see a lot of detail, particularly there in the cloak, a lot of cloth detail. If I can bring that into focus. There we go. There's a lot of cloth detail on Lando's cloak. A lot of detail there on the weapon, including the sight. And unfortunately, you can see on the reverse, the paisley print has not been supplied, so that will have to be, unfortunately, attempted to be painted on by hand. But I haven't put these together yet, but I have put together quite a lot of the Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures, and they're from Atomic Mass Games, the same supplier. They do go together very easily. I'm not an experienced sprue model builder by any means, but you can see on the back there are the recesses for aiding in slotting these together. And even the heads, though they are separate and quite small, I'll get into focus again. Yeah, even though the heads are separate and quite small, they do have the extensions in the bottom there to insert into the torsos to make sure that they do connect well. So I'm impressed with the quality of this. This is very good, sturdy plastic. I'm not concerned with any of these breaking when I prime them or put a zenithal highlight on via a dry brush. So I don't have any concerns. As I said, you will need to download the assembly instructions, but the sprues are very clearly marked. The numbers and letter combinations are very clear in order to cut these off and assemble them. Now, you do also get in the box 4 bases. These bases are sized for the mechanic of the game so that the moves and ranges can be measured correctly. That is important. So you will need to put these miniatures on these bases in order to play the game. They are decorated. There is some texture and terrain on them. So with a little bit of dry brushing, a little bit of liquid talent, they will come out, I believe, looking pretty good. You can, of course, they are big enough even with the miniatures on to put some base material on there as well, if you so wish. These can look really good. I would suggest you go and look on YouTube at some painted examples that artists much better than me have done to get some inspiration, should you so desire. But don't let that put you off. Just dry brushing these, you'll notice such a change. You know, prime it in black, dry brush in grey and white. It will still look great when you put it on the table, even with such a small amount of effort. Well done, Atomic Mass Games. Very impressed with the contents of the boxes. Cardstock is very good quality, and I cannot fault the artwork at all. The artwork on this is beautiful. So I'm looking forward to building these, and as I said, we'll have some brush offs coming up later on this month, where Dave, myself, and a professional artist will be facing off in a squad paint off. So join us again for a future video.